Hello everyone. So let's get into today's video. It is all about the structure of ova. Ovum is also the egg cell which is being present in the female reproductive system, can be called also as a female gamete. So this ova or the egg cell is being formed by the mitotic divisions of the germinal epithelial cells. The ova or the egg cell lacks yolk, henceforth it is called as alecythal. Remember this point? Human egg or egg cell or ovum is called as alecythal because it lacks yolk. So the ova which is present, it is extremely minute and 0.1 millimeter in diameter and said to be the largest cell in the human body. So during the ovulation, that is in the Graafian follicle, so the secondary oocyte which comes out from the ovary, so at that time some of the epithelial cells will adhere to the zona pellucida membrane and thereby that membrane forms the corona radiata. So this corona radiata is said to be the outermost layer of the ova and innermost layer of the cumulus oophorus. Okay, so that is corona radiata. So corona radiata supply vital proteins to that of the egg cell. So corona radiata is formed, that is during transitory stage between a primordial to the primary oocyte formation. That is, at that particular time, the flat granulosa cells which are present, so those flat granulosa cells starts increasing in their size, thereby there is a formation of this corona radiata. So at that time, it is called as granulosa radiata. So that is the outermost layer of the ova, that is called as corona radiata. Next is below the corona radiata is the second layer called as zona pellucida. So this zona pellucida is being located in between. Inner to the zona pellucida is the presence of the plasma membrane and outer to that of the zona pellucida is present the corona radiata. So it is being located between these two layers of So this zona pellucida, it is a vital constituent part of the ova, which means it contains certain proteins. So those proteins are said to be ZP3, ZP2 and ZP1. So these three proteins which are present, they are the targets for immunocontraception. Now what is this immunocontraception? Immunocontraception means if these proteins which are present in the zona pellucida, if they are being extracted and if they are being introduced into the blood of other animal, so these may result into sterility of those animals where it is being injected. So that is what we call it as immunocontraception. So ZP3, ZP2 and ZP1 are the targets for the immunocontraception which are present in the zona pellucida. So this zona pellucida is a thin non-cellular glycoprotein membrane, and in this membrane the three proteins which are present, what is their function? So ZP3 is said to be a species specific sperm binding protein, which means this protein is being responsible for binding of the plasma membrane of the sperm to the plasma membrane of the ova. ZP2 mediates subsequent binding of the sperm. Thereafter is ZP1. ZP1 acts as a cross-link between ZP3 and ZP2. So this is about zona pellucida. Inner to the zona pellucida is the presence of the plasma membrane, or it is called as Vitelline membrane. So this plasma membrane or Vitelline membrane which is being formed or present, so this is a transparent membrane, and this transparent membrane covers the entire the ooplasm or the cytoplasm of the cell. So generally a cell membrane covers, okay, it will be the outermost part. So this Vitelline membrane prevents, okay, it prevents the penetration of the further sperms, which means during the fertilization what happens is one sperm enters into that of the membrane, and thereby this plasma membrane now prevents the binding of the further sperms. So that is the plasma membrane. And thereafter this Vitelline membrane contains protein fibers and protein receptors which are necessary for binding of the first sperm to that of the ova. And thereafter, in between the Vitelline membrane and zona pellucida, there you can see there is a presence of the space. So this entire space is called as perivitelline space, where peri means surrounding, Vitelline is the Vitelline membrane, and that is the space. So that is being located. Next is, after this is the ooplasm. Ooplasm, the cytoplasm of the egg cell or the ova is called ooplasm. So this ooplasm generally lacks yolk, as I have mentioned earlier. Henceforth, this ova is said to be a lecital. Thereafter, the ooplasm towards its periphery, the peripheral part of the ooplasm is called as cortex. So this portion what we can see here, so this portion is called as cortex. And this cortex consists of two regions. The first one is called as the microvilli, and the second one is called as the cortical granules. So what is the function of these microvilli? Microvilli generally you have heard about their function, that they increase the surface area for absorption, and they are being commonly seen in case of the intestine. But here the microvilli which are present in the ooplasm, they are tubular structures, and they facilitate the transportation of the substances in and out to the cytoplasm. Next is the cortical granules. Cortical granules are basically made up of mucopolysaccharides, and these cortical granules generally are covered by Golgi membrane. And during the process of fertilization, what they do is they prevent polyspermy, which means once the sperm, one single sperm, once it enters into the plasma membrane, thereafter what happens, this cortical granules which are present, so these cortical granules release the enzymes such as protease or peroxidase. So those enzymes, what they will make is they will bind to that of the plasma membrane, thereby making the soft plasma membrane to become hard and tough, which prevents the entry of the next coming sperms. So that is, cortical granules release those enzymes, and thereby they prevent polyspermy. So this is about the ooplasm. Next is about the nucleus inside to that. So the nucleus generally consists of the nucleoplasm. So this nucleoplasm, it absorbs the cytoplasm. So this is the nucleus and this is the nucleoplasm, and this absorbs the cytoplasm, and thereby it gets converted, that entire nucleus gets converted into germinal vesicle. And inside to that of the nucleus there is presence of the nucleolus, or it is called as germinal spot. And this nucleus, okay, consists of the haploid set of maternal chromosomes. And next is regarding the centrioles. Centrioles are totally absent in case of the human egg or ova. Remember this is very important for any competitive exam. Centrioles are totally absent, which means once the sperm enters into the ova, the entire process of fusion of male and female pronuclei, it is being done by the centriole of the sperm. Okay, because centrioles in the egg cell are totally absent. Okay, and thereafter is the last part, that is called as mitochondria. So mitochondria generally, as you know, they are said to be the powerhouses of the cell. Okay, so here mitochondria are more in number when compared to that of the sperm. Okay, so that is all about the structure of ova, where we have discussed the outermost layer of the fertilized egg, that is called as corona radiata. Below that is zona pellucida, vitelline membrane. Thereafter is ooplasm, nucleus. Okay, so there is possibility of asking the question that arrange the following layers of the cells in the fertilized, in the egg cell or the ova, or you can say a fertilized secondary oocyte also. So outer is corona radiata, zona pellucida, vitelline membrane, ooplasm, and thereafter is the nucleus. So this is all about today's video, that is structure of ova. Okay, thank you.